friends, Mitzi brought her Eastman mandolin along. It's got a really fine sound. I've always said the Eastman mandolins are about the best mandolins out there mass-produced, in my opinion, right now especially. She thought there may have been cracks right here, and I tell you what, I couldn't tell either. I kept looking and looking and looking and trying to decide, but I'm pretty sure they're just surface scratches, so we don't think we have anything to worry about. I told her to keep her eye on it. But we are going to do a little setup on this and probably put an antler saddle on it, and the reason is because there is quite a hump right here, so we're going to try to get rid of that hump. There's a little bit of an underbow right here, so we're going to see if the truss rod's tight enough. Anyway, we're going to do a leveling, recrowning, and we're going to lower the action a little bit here at the first fret and maybe a little bit on the G side. Otherwise, it's really not too bad. Just for the record, I did tighten up the truss rod a little bit. I didn't tighten it a lot, but it was turned correctly and it was already tight, but I wanted to try to get a little bit of this underbow out that's right in this area here. And it looks pretty straight to my eye right now. We're going to do a quick fret leveling. This area here was a pretty good hump. And I'm just going to feel what it feels like first. I can feel it a little bit. There's probably a little bit of rocking right there. You can see the rocking in that. And I'm going to try to get that rocking out right there because we don't want that. Because, you know, if you get your action low here, well, then it's going to buzz right back here. So anyway, we're going to get rid of that. Got a little bit of fret grooves going on, so we're going to get rid of that too. That looks pretty good. I don't see any problem now. Good. Right there, I can still see it now that I look at it different. I think we might have it. Yeah, it had a pretty big hump right in this area, so I think we've got that cleaned up pretty good now. Good.
Whole life, no more corporate strife. Put your alarm clock away in the drawer. No more conference calls and no meetings in the hall.
It's amazing how it never really did hurt as bad as it's cut. It's pretty good cut. It's really not a cut. It was a grinder. It just ground it out of there. It's not really a cut at all. My wife says, "Don't you think we should put a butterfly bandage on it?" I go, "There is nothing to pull together. It's missing."
Oh,
you know, it's. Yeah. And I didn't want to pull it together because I'd be stretching it so tight, you know, because it's.
Then it would hurt.
Yeah, it really would hurt. I mean, it wasn't gapped open or anything. It just was a nice slot, exactly the size of the grinder.
No business to conduct in a bar, and no self-serving boss, nor the threat of the loss of the paycheck that I've earned 8 to 5. 'Cause I'll be out on that ranch where I can reach the first branch of that corporate tree grown from on high.
I always tease my friends whenever they're here and I'm working on theirs. I say, "Oh, that's good enough for you." That's good enough for your instrument, you know. That's what I usually tease them and say.
I've watched so many of your videos, I know what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Polishing frets.
Yeah, it's looking good too.
I've been following your videos for about 4 years.
Oh, great. I've seen your comments and your name on quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't own it, I just manage its worth. It's a small slice of heaven placed down here on earth. Care for his trees, water his sun.
I had a guy from Japan buy one night. this was when the internet was just first getting going. I mean, like, this was in the 90s, you know.
Yeah.
And he calls up and he couldn't speak English. He goes, mandolin. And that's all I got out of it. The whole thing was mandolin. You know, and I go, you're calling about a mandolin. And he could say yes or no. And he said, yes. Okay. Well, how can I help you with a mandolin? You know, then I get maybe one more word, you know. And, you know, finally I figured out I said, you're wanting to buy one of my mandolins? Yes, yes.
Yeah, that was definite.
Yeah, and, you know, that kind of thing. Well, anyway, I sent him photos of the one I was playing at the time, and he really liked it. It was a real fancy one. It was kind of like the one I'm playing now. Had all the shell inlay around it and all that. It was really a fancy mandolin. It didn't have quite as much fancy inlay, but anyway, it was a pretty nice mandolin. And anyway, he bought that, and so, you know, I shipped it to him and all that, and I don't know, a couple weeks later, I emailed him or something, and his reply was so typical broken English, you know, it was funny. I said, so do you like the mandolin? He says, yes, this is what I like. That was his reply. Shibukawa City, Japan is where that one went.
Huh. I had a guitar that ended up over in Japan. A Martin D35.
Oh yeah?
From 1976. Yeah, I sold it to a guitar student of mine, and
so you
he ended
teach?
up cracking it. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
He ended up cracking it, and he took it to a music store and sold it.
Oh, I'll be darned.
Instead of just getting it fixed and keeping it.
Oh, I'll be darned.
And a guy in Japan bought it.
I'll be.
If I'd known this what he was going to do, I would have got it back.
Yeah. Well, there you go. It's that old one man's trash, another man's treasure, everything, you know,
That's right.
like that.
Well, I had it since 1981, so...
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
Just a couple of years ago, I sold it. Like 3 years ago, maybe.
Don't it just rent it from God.
Rhonda Vincent got a hold of me one time, and I had advertised for a friend. I had advertised that he had a Canon, you know, a Martin. I think it was a D35. I think that's what it was. It might have been a 28. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. Anyway, she called me, and her guitar player was looking for a new guitar. And I said, well, Rhonda, I'll tell you right now, if you get this one, you'll like this guitar. This is a killer guitar. And so she took my word for it and bought it. And I heard back from her later that he really loved the guitar. It was a Canon.
Was that Josh Williams?
You know, I can't remember which guitar player she had at the time. It was so long ago. It was probably 15 years ago.
Oh, no, it probably wasn't him then.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was.
I know they won't miss me when I tell them I'm history. That's okay, for I've got a plan, and there'll be no...
Okay, that looks really, really nice. Take a look at that before I put the strings on, how nice those frets look.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, nice and shiny and
smooth and
smooth, yeah.
Round and everything. There's
Were you going to take that action down on that first the E string side?
Not yet, but that's what we'll do when we start stringing it up here.
Oh, okay.
We always have to have strings on it for that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna mark this before I get it turned around here. This is the bass side here. I'll just put a B and treble, put a T, just in case I get it turned around.
That didn't take long.
No, it doesn't take too long, but then I need to do quite a bit of filing yet.
Regret, no hard feelings, no debt. We're all doing the best we can. So here is my last word, some may think it absurd.
Some days this doesn't clog up much at all, and other days it just doesn't nothing but clog up as far as the filing this stuff goes.
Maybe the humidity has something to do with it.
It might have.
Yeah.
I mean, like those people that live back here on the back of my property, oh my gosh. I mean, this is rural now. Can you imagine what it was like 160 years ago?
No.
I mean, like, I always say you had to bring your own sunlight with you back then. I really think you would, you know? It's so far back in the hills, I don't think sunlight would have reached back there.
Yes, it is. I began to wonder if I was on the right road last night, but
Yeah.
my GPS said it was the right one, so
Yeah.
I just kept going and hoping that I at least had a place to turn around if it wasn't.
But I know that someday you'll find it's better to leave than to stay and to grieve. Instead of a paycheck, you'll have peace of mind. I don't want it to just manage.
Trouble. Yeah, this will give you more volume, I guarantee you, and usually even clarity of tone too. I think you'll hear a real clearness in the sound and everything. And
Good.
actually, I still got a couple more things to do there. I'll just leave that sit carefully there. I still have a couple things. I always brand them, you know, put my name on them, and in case something ever comes off, I always write on here that this is the E and that this is the G, and that way people don't get confused. You'd be surprised how many I've sold of these, and then I'll see them in a picture. People send me a picture later, they go, sorry, but you got it turned backwards. And they go, huh? And I go, yeah, it's sorry, you need to turn it around. You know, that's happened a lot of times, believe it or not.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, it's really happened a lot. It's like if you have a 50-50, there's a 90% chance you're going to get it wrong, you know?
Yeah.
That's about the way it is with me anyway.
It's a small slice of heaven placed down here on earth. I care for his trees, I water his sun. I don't know, did it just ready?
I also get lots of instruments that other stores won't work on or other luthiers won't work on.
Oh, yeah?
I get that all the time. In fact, that's kind of this one here. He's already had it at 2 other places. The last place he took it, the guy had it for a week or more, and he called and he said, "Are you finished with it yet?" And the guy goes, "No, come and pick it up. I can't fix it." I'm thinking, give me a
Well,
break.
you should have told him right away.
Yeah, you know, it's just, well, he said he could fix it when he left it, you know.
Yeah.
But really, I don't even know why that guy took it anywhere else besides here. He knows me. I don't know why he didn't bring it here to begin with. But I think he travels so much, I guess he might have been out of town. I don't know.
Yeah, it might have been.
It really, this ain't no big deal. It's a Martin, but I need to take the bridge off, put the bridge back on, you know. It's just really badly messed up. You know, I think this mandolin's got a woody enough sound that I think we'll just put the phosphor bronze on it, if that's okay with you. And
That's fine.
because I think it's, you know, if a mandolin has a tinny sound, then I definitely put the LS250s. But
Yeah.
yours has got a good woody sound, so I don't see any reason not to do that. So I either use the J74s or the A270s. Either one of them's the same, really. And so I got the J74s here. These are the D'Addario.
Yeah.
They're both real good. I can't really tell the difference between them.
That's the only kind of strings I use on my guitar.
D'Addario?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very good strings. Phosphor bronze, anything phosphor bronze is really good. Of course, I know a lot of people like the coated strings, and they're okay. Okay, I am tuning it up with the new deer antler saddle. So I'm going to check the intonation first thing. It's a little flat, so that means this is too far back. So just move it forward a little bit. Check it again. Pretty Pretty close. Now I'll check the E side. I'm just going to go to an E flat to test it. Pretty close. It might be a hair sharp. Try that. Check it again. Pretty close. That's pretty close. Not picking up real good. Pretty close, pretty close. All right, I'll go ahead and tune it up. Well, I'm gonna look at the action up here a little bit. I think the action's a little bit high on these first couple of strings. So I'm going to check that real quick here. Yeah, so you can see there that on the first fret, it's just sliding through there really easy. It should be tight and it should be lifting the string a little bit, so we're gonna work on that.
From God.
Those grooves were really tight, so open them up just a little bit there. And I could tell they had been riding just in one spot there, so hopefully this will get the angle straightened out a little bit. See if it's any tighter yet. Nope, it's not really much tighter yet, so I'm gonna have to loosen it up a little bit more. The thing you don't want to do is go too far too fast, because then you got to make a new nut. I think those are going to work. I'm going to check the action here too, just to make sure it's good. That's really nice. It's holding the pick at the 12th fret there, no problem. And we'll check the A strings now, because I think, see, now if you watch, see the pick is held in there, it doesn't fall out now. So now we'll move to the A strings, and they're a little bit high, not too terribly bad, but they can use some adjustment. You can see there how the little grooves, little dark marks on the A's where they were writing, and they're not bad. What you definitely don't want to see is you don't want to see the dark mark down at the front down here. Instead of, as long as the dark mark extends to the back of the nut, you're doing good. But if that dark mark is halfway up or something like that, that means the string is riding halfway, and then they'll vibrate inside the nut. So this is really good the way it looks right now. And we're just going to make that groove a little longer, a little more, keep the angle a little more flat, I guess you'd say, toward the peg head. Not let it crown like that. That'll probably be close. Let's see how that works. Actually, I'm going to redo that with a little bit wider. Still seeing a little play there, so I'm going to take it down just a fraction more. We're on that bleeding edge right now. We don't want to get it too low. That looks good. And we'll check this again just to make sure. The G's just right. The D could probably go just a hair, and I mean like just the least little amount. So we'll do it while we got it here. Bridge looks perfect, really. You did a good job.
Thank you.
Mitzi set her own bridge on here, and you can see it's just airtight. It's perfect. Did you learn that from my video, Mitzi?
I did.
Oh, good.
I don't want it to just manage its work.
Now we'll check the intonation one more time. Buzzing just a teeny bit. Yeah, I think I got it just a little too low. It's holding the pick a little bit too much on the G side, so we're going to need to raise this up just a little bit.
It's a small slice of heaven placed down here on earth. Care for his trees, I water his...
Still just a little teeny bit buzzy.
They don't own it, they just rent it from God.
That's pretty close.
No more buzz.
Now we'll check the intonation on the E. A little sharp. A little bit sharp. So this is one of those unusual ones, which you see every once in a while, that has the E string cocked back instead of forward. It's very unusual, but you see it every once in a while.
I can tell it's louder already.
Yeah, this mandolin's got a very, very good sound. As I've said many times on camera, these Eastmans are really one of your best buys out there on mandolins. Check the tuning once more. They always stretch when you're putting new strings on and you've had them apart for a while. Just needs a little playing in again to get it settled back down, but otherwise it's in really good shape, I think. I'm feeling something a little bit sharp right there, so I'm going to take a file to that. And just, I always like to make sure that they don't have any sharpness or rough edges on them. Well, hope you enjoyed seeing how we did a quick setup on this Eastman mandolin. If you would, give me a thumbs up and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you.